Same sun, same day, two of the biggest names in composite decking, and we're gonna put them head to head and tell you what we actually recommend and why. There are 5 things homeowners regret about their composite decks: the heat, the slipping when it gets wet, rot in the framing, the fading, and the long-term structural failures. Today, we're testing Trex and MoistureShield on all 5. So on your end, you don't end up regretting your decision. We install both brands, but by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one we prefer to put in our homeowners' decks. Real quick, let's give Trex its due. They basically invented modern composite decking. When somebody walks into our showroom and says, "I want a composite," 9 times out of 10, next words out of their mouth is Trex. That is the brand power most companies would kill for, and they basically earned it. They have 20 color options, are available in every Home Depot, and they just released Transcend Lineage line, which is specifically there to fix the heat problem the composite industry has been dealing with for years. So this isn't a video about Trex being bad, because Trex is a real product that real people love. The question we're actually answering is whether it's the right product for your house here in the Pacific Northwest. Before we get into the head-to-head, you should know what we're actually picking from. MoistureShield has 4 lines. It has the Vision line, which is the top, Meridian line, which is under it, then Elevate, then Vantage at the entry tier. Trex has Transcend Lineage as their newest premium line, regular Transcend, Enhanced Naturals, and Enhanced Basics at the bottom. For this video, we're putting MoistureShield Meridian against Trex Transcend Lineage for 2 reasons. Meridian is the line we install most often in our customers' homes, and Lineage is Trex's direct answer to the heat problem MoistureShield has been winning on for years. This is the comparison that actually matters, because if we lined up Meridian up against older Transcends or budget Enhanced, the comparison just wouldn't be honest. The first fear is heat, because if you've ever stepped barefoot onto a composite deck in August, you already know that composite gets hot. And it's not so fun, because skin damage actually starts around 140 degrees. And a lot of composite boards blow that right out of the water on a sunny day. MoistureShield's answer is their Cool Deck technology that's baked into Meridian. Trex's answer is the heat mitigation layer in Lineage. Both companies claim cooler boards, so we actually tested it. So obviously it's a different day. We're out here getting ready for the work day. Everyone's getting prepped or whatever, but we got 9 boards. And it's supposed to be a really hot day, so about 83 degrees, I think. So it's gonna get toasty. So here I have Trex Transcend Lineage and MoistureShield Meridian. And because we installed more than just those 2, I threw in Decker's Voyage and TimberTech Vintage Collection, so you can see how the whole modern composite category handles heat. I grouped boards up by brand, but made sure that each brand had a light and dark color, because color affects surface temperature almost as much as the technology inside the board. Something to also keep in mind is that Decorators is a mineral-based composite, so there's no wood inside of it, and we'll see how much that affects the temperature. What I also have is this infrared thermometer to do the readings. So I'm gonna let these sit for 6 to 7 hours and come back when they're nice and hot. It's 83. Okay, after about 6.5 hours, looks like for the brown colors, Shoreside came in the coolest, and Hotteros right behind it. And for the grays, it was the same story, with MoistureShield beating out Trex, and the TimberTech and Decorators running significantly hotter. But I want to show you one more reading, because it tells you what actually is going on inside these boards. This is the MoistureShield Mariner, which is the same line as the other MoistureShields, but the only difference is this one Meridian color is the only one that does not have the Cool Deck technology. So Shoreside with the Cool Deck came in at 141 degrees, and the Mariner without it came in at 154 degrees, which is almost a 13-degree difference without the technology, which really shows how much that Cool Deck technology is doing. So ultimately, what does this tell us? Well, MoistureShield came in coolest in both color groups, but Trex Lineage was close behind it in both. The biggest takeaway for you is to pick a lighter color if heat matters to you, because the color difference inside the same brand is bigger than the difference between the top 2 brands. And if you're gonna buy that MoistureShield Meridian, make sure your color has a Cool Deck, because the Mariner is a good reading to show you what happens without it. A few degrees on thermometers doesn't actually sound like much, but the difference between a board you can stand on barefoot and one you can actually use is in those single digits. If your kids and your dogs are using the deck, the gap is a whole point of the upgrade. Second is the fear of slipping. The industry standard for slipping resistance is the traction rating of 0.50, which is the minimum you want on your feet on a wet board. MoistureShield Meridian rates at a 0.71 and the Vision line rates at a 0.77, but both are well above that standard. Trex Transcend Lineage rates within the safe range too, but Meridian holds a real margin on it. In the Pacific Northwest, where your deck is wet from October to June, that margin will be noticeable. The grooves of the Meridian are also designed to give you grip without feeling rough on your bare feet, which is worth noting if you actually want to use your deck barefoot. The third fear, and this one's big for our climate, is moisture. Trex protects against the moisture with a polymer cap on 3 sides of the board, which seals the top and the 2 long edges. The bottom of the board, though, isn't capped, which is part of why Trex specifies at least 6 inches of clearance between the bottom of the deck and the ground. MoistureShield takes a different approach. Every wood fiber inside the board is individually coated before the board is ever formed. Moisture resistance is built into the core, not just wrapped around the outside. MoistureShield is confident enough in this that they warranty a board installed directly into the ground or in the water. For a deck on a dry, well-drained site that sits a couple feet off the ground, both products will work perfectly fine. For a low deck, a deck on a wet slope, and anywhere the framing stays damp half the year, Meridian is built for that, and Lineage is just built to avoid that. The fourth fear is how will it look in 10 years? The clearest read on this is warranty, because the warranty is what the manufacturer is willing to put up with in writing. MoistureShield Meridian has a 50-year structural and a 40-year fade and stain. Trex Transcend Lineage carries a strong fade and stain warranty also, and in the same ballpark for residential coverage. It's always good to read the fine print on either one of these before you sign it. But for a customer asking, is this going to look terrible in 15 years? Both brands are willing to bet that you'll be fine. The fifth fear is that your deck just fails. Most composite boards are rapid cooled during manufacturing, which pulls the plastic to the outside and the wood fibers to the middle, leaving you with a board that has a weaker core and relies heavily on the cap. MoistureShield uses a slow cooling process that keeps the material uniform all the way through. If you cut a Meridian board in half, it looks the same in the middle as it does on the surface. MoistureShield reports 0 structural field failures on installed products going back 35 years. Obviously that's their number, so take it as marketing data, but that's actually a long time for a clean record. So where does that leave us? Trex wins on a few things. 20 colors versus 18, so more palette options. They're at every Home Depot, so if you need a sample tonight, Trex is gonna be there. And they have the longest brand history in this category, which matters to people who buy based on name recognition. Meridian wins on heat, traction, moisture handling, core construction, recycled content, which is at about 95%, and carries a longer track record on field performance. Both products are credible composites. People may have their biases, but both will get the job done. We obviously install both, so when a customer comes to us already set on Trex, well, we build them a Trex deck that's really awesome. And when a customer comes to us asking, well, what would you put on your own house? We tell them Meridian. And here are the 3 reasons. It looks the best in our customers' yards because the color depth and texture hold up beautifully over time. It lasts the longest in our climate because the moisture handling alone is worth it in most of the sites we build on. And lastly, the technology that this line solves is actual problems our customers care about, which are the cooler boards, better grip, and core that does not rely on cap to do all the work. So this is why we sell more MoistureShield than anything else. If you're in Vancouver, Portland, or in the Tacoma area and are thinking about a new deck, come look at samples in our showroom. Put your hand on both boards, take a Meridian sample home, and leave it in the sun for an afternoon. See for yourself. There's a link in the description for a free consultation where we'll walk your yard, talk you through your site, and give you our honest opinion on which one should go best for you.